the arrival of President-elect Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. Please rise for the entrance of colors. Let us all rise for the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong baghaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidingding. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhating pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for the ecumenical prayer.
Kindly bow your heads in prayer. Sa ngalan ng Ama at ng Anak at ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. O Diyos naming maawain at mapagmahal, kami ay nagpapasalamat sa araw na ito na inyong nilikha puspos ng biyaya para sa mundo at mga Pilipino, kung saan aming tinatanggap ang aming bagong Pangulo. Nawa ang araw na ito ay maghatid ng pagkakataon upang maging ganap ang aming hinahangad na pagkakaisa, kaunlaran at kapayapaan. Maging hudyat nawa ito ng tunay na pagbabago, paglilingkod at pag-asa. Sa ngalan ni Kristo na aming Panginoon, kasama ng Espiritu Santo. Amen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qala rabbukum ud'uni astajib lakum. Ya Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, please fill our mind and soul with good health and wellness forever. Bless us and our future leader, Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., a good health and spirit of wisdom so that he may serve his countrymen. We pray that our nation be crowned with compassion and nurtured by your love. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وادخلنا في جنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين.
Panginoon po naming Diyos, banal ka po at makapangyarihan sa lahat. Pakitanggap po ang aming taos sa pusong pasasalamat sapagkat taglay pa naming lahat ngayon ang aming buhay at ang aming lakas. Sasaksihan po namin ang panunumpa ng bagong Pangulo ng aming Republika. Nagmamakaawa kaming lahat na tulungan mo po ang aming Pangulo, maging lahat ng mga nangunguna sa aming pamahalaan, maipatupad ng pantay-pantay lahat ng mga batas, tungo po sa pag-unlad ng aming lipunan. Hinihiling po namin, maghari sa amin ang iyong katwiran, sa ngalan po Ama, ng aming Panginoong Hesukristo. Amen.
Mapagpala po namin Diyos, binabalik po namin ang papuri at pasalamat sa inyong saganang biyaya na sa kabila ng mga krisis, pandemya, kami po ay patuloy na tumitingin na kami po ay merong bagong lipunan na kung saan ang bawat isa sa amin ay magkakaisa upang kami po ay umunlad. Panginoon, inyo pong puspusin ng biyaya ang aming bagong Pangulo. 10 po ng kanyang buong sambahayan at pamilya. Gayon din po gabinete, ang kanyang administrasyon. At salamat po na kami ay walang dapat ipangamba sapagkat kayo po'y nangako na kayo po ang sa amin. Ito po ang aming pakiusap sa pangalan po ng aming Panginoong Yesus. Amen.
Salamat po Ama sa pag-ibig na pinupuno niyo sa puso ng bawat Pilipino. Pag-ibig na maaaring sandalan, gawing pundasyon at balangkas ng aming pagkakaisa. Patuloy niyo po kaming pag-umapawi ng pag-ibig sa bayan, sa inyo at sa aming kapwa. Sa pangalan ng Panginoong Yesus. Aming Amang manlilikha at tagapagpaguyod,
Nagkakaisa po kami ngayon na nagtatalaga sa inyong hinirang na maging Pangulo at lingkod ng bayan, si Ginoong Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. Sa kanyang pamumuno at pamamahala, liwanagan niyo po siya ng inyong maningning na ilaw, kasihan at puspusin ng inyong banal na diwa, lapatan ng inyong mapagpalang kamay, pangunahan at akayin ng inyong makatwirang tinig, at patuloy na pagkalooban ng nag-uumapaw na pag-ibig at pagmamalasakit sa sambayanang Pilipinas. Bigyan niyo po siya ng mga makakatuwang sa pamamahala na may busilak na kalooban, mga manunungkulang maalam, mabunga at marugdob ang pagmamahal sa bayan. Kami pong lahat na mamamayan ay patuloy ninyong gabayan na maging matapat sa aming mga tungkulin sa bayan para sa isang maunlad at nagkakaisang Pilipinas.
Sa maiksing sandali po ng tahimik na pakikipagniig sa ating Ama sa Langit, Ipabatid natin ang ating mga niloloob at pasalamat.
Please be seated. Welcome to the inaugural ceremony of President-elect Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. To begin, let us now witness and give a big round of applause to the military and civic parade.
Sa makasaysayang araw na ito, ating binibigyang pugay ang bagong Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Pangulong Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. Kung kaya't narito po ang isang parada bilang pagpaparangal. Atin na pong tunghayan ng mga tagapangalaga ng bansa, naglilingkod sa iba't ibang larangan, isinasanggalang ang bansa sa anumang pagbabanta. Sila na nagtataglay ng katapangan at kagitingan, patuloy na nakikipaglaban para sa kapayapaan at kalayaan na ating tinatamasa. Bumubungad po ang parada na kinabibilangan ng ating core ng mga kadete ng Sandatahang Lakas at Pambansang Pulisya ng Pilipinas, gayon din po ang Tanod Baybayin. Inyo pong nasaksihan ang high-speed opener pass o ang mabilisang paglipad ng FA-50PH o ang tinaguriang Fighting Eagle. Ito ang pangunahing air asset na ginamit sa pagsasagawa ng combat air operation sa Marawi City laban sa ISIS-inspired terrorists. Naipamalas na ng FA-50PH, Agila ng Pilipinas, ang pagiging most lethal weapon system dahil sa iba't ibang katangian nito na ginagampanan sa pagdepensa at pag-atake sa impapawid ng Philippine Air Force. Ang FA-50PH bilang air asset ay pinangangasiwaan ng ating 5th Fighter Wing, the home of the country's frontline fighters and jet trainers. Nangunguna po sa ating parada ang pinagsamang banda ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas. Dumaraan po sa hating harapan ang commander ng tropa, Major General Jonas R. Lumawag, Philippine Navy Marines. Ang unang brigada sa kasuotang gala ay nasa pamumuno ni Brigadier General Alvin T. Flores, Army. Ang unang batalyon ay binubuo ng Corps ng mga kadete ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas na pinangungunahan ni Cadet First Class Edmond D. Logroño. Mula sa prestiyosong Philippine Military Academy, ang mga ginoo at binibining ito ang mamamahala sa iba't ibang sangay ng Sandatahang Lakas. Ikinikintal sa kanilang puso't isipan ng kagitingan, integridad at katapatan. Sila na sa hinaharap ay magiging kaagapay sa pagsusulong ng kapayapaan at kaunlaran ng bansa. Sumusunod ang batalyon ng mga kadete mula sa kilalang Philippine National Police Academy sa pangunguna ni Cadet Second Class Joshua R. Pulido. Hinuhubog ang karakter ng mga kadeteng ito upang mamuno sa hinarap ng nananaig ang paglilingkod, karangalan at hustisya, gayon din bilang makadiyos, responsable at respetadong mga public safety officers. Mangyaring tumayo po ang lahat para sa pagdating ng watawat ng Pilipinas. mangyayaring magsiyuko na ang lahat. Ating natutunghayan ng mga sagisag mula sa Sandatahang Lakas, Pambansang Pulisya at sa Tanod Baybayin ng Pilipinas. Ang pangalawang brigada sa kanilang kasuotang battle dress attire ay pinamumunuan ni Brigadier General Joanis Leonardi B. Dimaano ng Air Force. Sumusunod ang batalyon ng Special Operations Forces ng Sandatahang Lakas sa pangunguna ni Commander Ray R.G. Habonete ng Navy. Binubuo ang batalyon ng Scout Ranger Army, Naval Special Operations Group ng Philippine Navy at 710th Special Operations Wing ng Philippine Air Force. Silang mga piling individual na ang kasanayan ay sa iba't ibang larangan at nakakaangat lalo na sa mga espesyal na operasyon. Narito naman ang batalyon na binubuo ng kapulisan at Tanod Baybayin na pinamumunuan ni Police Lieutenant Colonel Joseph C. Bayan. Ang ating kapulisan na nagkapagpatupad ng batas sa papanatili ng kapayapaan at kaayusan at nagsisiguro sa kaligtasan ng ating mamamayan. Ang Tanod Baybayin ay nakatuon sa Maritime Search and Rescue, Maritime Law Enforcement, Maritime Safety, Marine Environmental Protection, at Maritime Security. Tunghayan natin ang mga sasakyan at gamit pandigma ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas, Pambansang Pulisya ng Pilipinas at Tanod Baybayin ng Pilipinas, gayon din ang mga tauhang kabilang sa mga espesyal na unit, kasama na rin po ang pansuportang unit. Nangunguna ang mga espesyal na unit ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas. Nariyan po ang Explosive Ordnance and Disposal Units, kabilang na rin po ang Chemical, Biological, and Radiological Nuclear Teams. Sumusunod naman po ang Kia Light Tactical Vehicle at Troop Carrying Vehicle. Narito rin po ang 11 Metro Rigid Hull Inflatable Boat ng Naval Special Operations Group ng Philippine Navy. Ginagamit ito sa mga espesyal na operasyon bilang suporta sa maliitang SEAL operation. Ang tinaguriang combat arm of decision ng Armored Assets. Nangunguna ang Commander B-150 na pangunahing nakadesenyo para sa panloob na operasyong panseguridad ng bansa. Kasabay ang Simba Armored Fighting Vehicle ng Philippine Army na gumaganap para sa panloob na seguridad. Nariyan din po ang B-300 Armored Personal Carrier ng Philippine Marine Corps, isang uri ng sasakyan na magagamit sa lupa o tubig man. Natutunghayan naman po natin ang artillery assets na binubuo ng mga kanyon ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas. Nangunguna ang 20mm M39 anti-aircraft cannons at iniakma ito bilang ground-based weapons mula sa dating F-5 Freedom Fighters aircraft. Sumusunod ang Atmos 155mm howitzer system na binuo bilang shoot-and-scoot weapon na agarang magre-responde sa mahirap na kalupaan at kritikal na lugar. Kontrolado ito ng electronic suit na may inertial navigation system based gun, laying method at automatic loader. Nasa ating harapan ang 105mm howitzers. Sumusuporta ang mga ito sa mga puwersang nasa gitna ng operasyong militar. Ang gamit pandigmang ito ay nagbibigay ng close fire support. Inyo naman po nakikita ang 8-ton Ural trucks at 1 and 1/4 ton Sadco. Ang mga sasakyang ito ay ginagamit bilang bahagi ng combat support units. Gayon din sa panahon ng kagipitan, partikular sa humanitarian assistance and disaster response. Mga espesyal na sasakyang naglalaman naman ng mga gamit pang komunikasyon at sistemang pang-impormasyon na may kakayahan upang maisakatuparan ang ugnayan sa pamamagitan ng radio communication sa iba't ibang frequency bands. Ang mga sasakyan naman po at kagamitan ng ating pambansang pulisya ng Pilipinas at Tanod Baybayin ng Pilipinas na pawang ginagamit sa iba't ibang larangan, seguridad at maging sa kampanya laban sa terorismo at humanitarian assistance and disaster response. Pinangungunahan ito ng PNP Highway Patrol na tinaguriang Guardian of the Highways na nakatuon sa operasyon sa lansangan para sa traffic safety at maging sa paglaban sa krimen. Nariyan po ang mga sasakyan ng NCRPO, ang forensic group scene of the crime operatives, ang chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosives, at ang pinagsanib na explosive ordnance at K9 mobile vehicle van. Natutunghayan natin ng SWAT van, Special Action Force, na lula ng Multipurpose Armored Vehicle Personnel Carrier at MG Rubber Boat. Mula naman sa Tanod Baybayin, nariyan ang bomb squad, ambulance at mga patrol cars. Nariyan po ang kanilang jet ski para naman sa agarang makatugon sa seguridad at search and rescue operations. Ang aluminum search and rescue boats na nakadisenyo upang mabilisang makaresponde ang rescue team sa mga nalunod o biktima ng sakuna sa karagatan. Samantalang ang Regional Hull Boat ay ginagamit sa iba't ibang misyong isinasagawa ng Coast Guard Anti-Terrorist Unit. Ngayon po, ibaling ang inyong atensyon sa kalangitan at natutunghayan ng pagdaan ng mga sasakyang panghimpapawid ng Santahang Lakas ng Pilipinas. Inyo pong nakikita ang 4 na 829 Super Tucano, sumusunod ang 10 SF-260 Marchetti na nakadisenyo para sa basic at intermediate training at nagsisilbing dependable attack aircraft para sa close air support. Nariyan din ang 4 na Cessna aircraft at ang panghuli sa hanay ng mga sasakyang panghimpapawid, ang 9 na T-41 trainer aircraft. Ang tinatawag na trainer aircraft ay ginagamit sa basic pilot training ng Air and Education Command ng Philippine Air Force. Mga kababayan, atin pong natunghayan ang ating sandatahang lakas, ang pambansang pulisya at ang tanod baybayin ng Pilipinas na maaasahan mapaanumang larangan saan man at kailanman. Sila ang ating mga kaagapay upang mapanatili ang kaayusan, katiwasayan at kapayapaan sa buong kapuluan para sa masaganang kinabukasan ng ating bayang Pilipinas.
Mula naman sa iba't ibang sektor ng ating lipunan. Ang ating mga bayaning katuwang sa lalong pagpapaganda at pagpapaunlad ng ating bansa. Ang ating mga medical frontliners. Sa panahong singdilim ng pandemya, ang mga bayaning nagniningning ng pinakamaliwanag. Sila ang ating mga medical at healthcare frontliners. Nanganganib sa bawat araw upang masigurong ligtas at protektado ang bawat pamilyang Pilipino. Ang ating mga overseas Filipino workers. Sa ibayong lupa man o karagatan, ang manggagawang Pilipino ay tinitingala ng ibang bayan. Dahil sa kanilang husay, galing, at pagmamahal sa trabaho. Karangal-rangal ang kanilang mga sakripisyo. malayo sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. Kapalit ng kanilang di matatawarang kontribusyon sa ating ekonomiya. Mga atletang Pinoy sa larangan ng palakasan. Walang tatalo sa puso ng atletang Pinoy. Dugot pawis at sakripisyo mula pagkabata upang makamtan ang medalyang hinahangad. Ang karangalang inyong dala para sa bansa sa bawat labang buhay ang inyong itinataya ay kabayanihang ating kinikilala. Ang manggagawang Pilipino. Kinikilala bilang haligi ng ating pag-unlad bilang isang bansa. Ang kanilang pagpupunyagi at pagsisikap na maitaguyod ang pamilyang Pilipino sa kapila ng anumang balakid ay ating bigyang dangal. Anumang industriya o antas ng panunungkulan, ang bawat manggagawang Pilipino ay bahagi ng pagbabago. Ang ating transport sector, panlupa, pantubig, o panghimpapawid. Ang ating ligtas na paglalakbay ay hatid ng ating transport sector. Mula sa mga tsuper, piloto, at flight attendants, o mga seafarers, at kapitan ng barko. Ang kanilang husay at galing ay katuwang natin sa paglalakbay tungo sa maunlad na bukas. Isang pagpupugay sa ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Kinikilala natin ang huwarang kontribusyon ng ating mga bayani sa pagpapaunlad ng sektor ng agrikultura. Ang ating likas na yamang lupa at karagatan. Kasama ang mga makabagong teknolohiya. Isang masaganang kinabukasan para sa agrikultura at matibay na seguridad sa pagkain ang naghihintay sa atin. Ang ating Street Management Services Sector. Malinis, ligtas, at maayos na mga kalye at lansangan. hatid ng ating mga kababayan sa serbisyo. Sinisigurong malinis ang ating kapaligiran. Maginhawa ang daloy ng trapiko. At ligtas ang ating publiko sa daan. Saludo po sa inyo. Ang ating construction industry. To read the joint resolution from the Senate and House of Representatives, Senate President Vicente Tito Soto III.
As the Senate President and co-chair of the joint public session of Congress that canvassed the votes for presidential and vice presidential candidates in the national elections held on the 9th of May, 2022, it is my distinct honor and privilege to join you in this historic occasion and read the dispositive portion of the resolution of both houses, which proclaimed the duly elected President and Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines. The dispositive portion of the said resolution reads as follows. Resolved further to declare that candidate Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Romualdez Marcos Jr. and candidate Sara Zimmerman Duterte received the highest number of votes cast for President and Vice President respectively in the national elections held on the 9th of May, 2022, and by virtue thereof, to proclaim Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. as the duly elected President of the Republic of the Philippines, and Sara Zimmerman Duterte as the duly elected Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines.
To administer the oath of office to President-elect Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., Chief Justice Alexander G. Gasmundo. May we request on stage Attorney Liza Araneta Marcos, Ferdinand Alexander Sandro Marcos, Joseph Simon Marcos, and William Vincent Marcos to witness the oath-taking.
Mangyaring taas ang kanang kamay at wikain ang mga sumusunod. Ako, si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
ay mataimtim na nanunumpa. Natutuparin ko ng buong katapatan at sigasig.
Natutuparin ko na buong katapatan at sigasig
ang aking mga tungkulin bilang Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Pangangalagaan at ipagtatanggol ang kanyang konstitusyon. Ipatutupad ang mga batas nito. Magiging makatarungan sa bawat tao. At itatalaga ang aking sarili sa paglilingkod sa bansa. Kasihanawa ako ng Diyos.
Congratulations,
Mr. President.
Maraming salamat.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
His Excellency David Hurley, Governor General of Australia, and First Lady Linda Hurley, Their Excellencies, Special Envoys, and Heads of Delegations, His Excellency, Most Reverend Charles John Brown, and the esteemed members of the Diplomatic Corps, Vice President Sara Duterte, President Fidel Ramos, President Joseph Ejercito Estrada, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Senate President Vicente Soto III, and the honorable members of the Philippine Senate, House Speaker Lord Alan J. Velasco, and the honorable members of the House of Representatives, Chief Justice Alexander Gesmundo, and the honorable justices of the Supreme Court, of course, First Lady Lisa Araneta, and my children, Alexander, Sandro, Simon, and Vincent. I cannot proceed without a special greeting, of course, to the former First Lady Imelda Romualdez Marcos. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, ang aking minamahal na mga kababayan, magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat. This is a historic moment for us all. I feel it deep within me. You, the people, have spoken, and it is resounding. When my call for unity started to resonate with you, it did so because it echoed your yearnings, mirrored your sentiments, and expressed your hopes for family, for country, and for a better future. That is why it reverberated and amplified as it did, to deliver the biggest electoral mandate in the history of Philippine democracy. By your vote, you rejected the politics of division. I offended none of my rivals in this campaign. I listened instead to what they were saying. And I saw little incompatibility with my own ideas about jobs, fair wages, personal safety, and national strength, and ending want in a land of plenty. I believe that if we but focus on the work at hand and the work that will come to hand, we will go very far under my watch. You believe that too. At pinakinggan ko ang tinig ninyo na ang sinisigaw ay pagkakaisa, pagkakaisa, pagkakaisa. We will go farther together than against each other, pushing forward, not pulling each other back, out of fear, out of a misplaced sense of weakness. But we are the furthest from weak. The Filipino diaspora flourishes even in the most inhospitable climes, where they are valued for their quality. The changes we seek will benefit all and will shortchange no one. I was not the instrument of change. You were that. You made it happen. I am now. You picked me to be your servant, to enable changes to benefit all. I fully understand the gravity of the responsibility that you've put on my shoulders. I do not take it lightly, but I am ready for the task. I will need your help. I want to rely on it. But rest assured, I do not predicate success on the wide cooperation that's needed. I will get it done. I once knew a man who saw what little had been achieved since independence in a land of people with the greatest potential for achievement, and yet they were poor. But he got it done, sometimes with the needed support, sometimes without. So will it be with his son. You will get no excuses from me. I am here not to talk about the past. I am here to tell you about our future. A future of sufficiency, even plenty, of readily available ways and means to get done what needs doing. By you, by me. We do not look back, but ahead. Up the road that we must take to a place better than the one we lost in the pandemic. Gains made and lost, opportunities missed, well-laid plans superseded by the pandemic. Indeed, ours was the fastest growing economy in ASEAN by ways now outdated. We shall be again by a radical change in the way the world must now work to recover what we have lost in that fire and move on from there. We face prospects of the spread of the war abroad, of which we are totally blameless. We seek friendship with all. But countries like ours will bear the brunt of it. And if the great powers draw the wrong lessons from the ongoing tragedy in Ukraine, the same dark prospect of conflict will spread to our part of the world. Yet, there is more out there. Like going forward by new ways of doing that the pandemic forces to adopt. A stronger resilience, quicker adaptability. They are our best prevention. They are our best protection. Quiet reflection in a rough and tumble campaign of a breadth and intensity never experienced revealed some of them, such as the willingness to listen despite the noise, the hesitation to quarrel over differences, and to never, ever give up hope of reconciliation. These gave me the peace to ponder deeper. There are hints of a road not taken that could get us out of here quicker to something better, something less fragile. There is also what you, the people, did to cope. But this time empowered by new techniques and more resources. You got by, getting some of what you needed with a massive government help. And for this, I thank my predecessor for the courage of his hard decisions. But there is a way to put more means and choices in your hands. I trust the Filipino. Imagine how much more you'd achieve if government backstops instead of dictating your decisions. Always there to pick you up when you fall, giving what you need to get past a problem. Imagine if it invested in your self-empowerment to bring it closer to taking on whatever challenges come. Imagine a country that, in almost every sense, is you. Now imagine what you and government can achieve together. We did it in the pandemic. We will do it again. But again, I will not predicate my promise to you on your cooperation. You have your own lives to live, your work to do, and there too I will help. Government will get as much done alone without requiring more from you. That is what government and public officials are for. No excuses, just deliver. It was like that once upon a time. I did not talk much in this campaign. I did not bother to think of rebutting my rivals. Instead, I searched for promising approaches better than the usual solutions. I listened to you. I did not lecture you who has the biggest stake in our success. And the forthcoming State of the Nation will tell you exactly how we shall get this done. In this fresh chapter of our history, I extend my hand to all Filipinos. Come, let us put our shoulders to the wheel and give that wheel a faster turn to repair and to rebuild and to address challenges in new ways, to provide what all Filipinos need, to be all that we can. We are here to repair a house divided, to make it whole, and to stand strong again in the Bayanihan way, expressive of our nature as Filipinos. We shall seek, not scorn, dialogue. Listen respectfully to contrary views. Be open to suggestions coming from hard thinking and unsparing judgment. But always from us, Filipinos. We can trust no one else when it comes to what is best for us. Past history has often proven that. Solutions from outside divided us. None deepened our understanding. They were always at our expense. Never forget, we are Filipinos. One nation, one republic, indivisible. We resisted and never failed to defeat foreign attempts to break up our country in my father's watch. His strongest critics have conceded that. So let us all be part of the solution that we choose. In that lies the power to get it done. Always be open to differing views, but ever united in our chosen goal. Never hesitating to change it, should it prove wanting. That is how agile, resilient republics are made. Our future we decide today. Yesterday cannot make that decision anymore, nor can tomorrow delay it. The sooner we start, the surer and quicker the prospect of achieving our future. These are troubling times. What's happening to others can happen to us, but it will not. We see what's happening. We are witness to how it is being stopped, and we have seen the glory that crowns struggle against all odds. Giving up is not an option. We've been through times of bitter division, but united. We came through to this when it shall begin again, but better. The campaigns I've run have taken me here where I stand today. I listened to you, and this is what I have heard. We all want peace in our land. You and your children want a good chance at a better life in a safer, more prosperous country. All that is within reach of a hard-working, warm, and giving race. Your dreams are mine. Pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. How can we make them come true? How can we do it together? But I will take it as far as anyone with the same faith and commitment can, as if it depended entirely on himself. Sa pangarap na maging mapayapa ang ating bansa, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. Sa pangarap na maging maunlad ang ating bansa, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. At sa pangarap na maging mas masinang ang kinabukasan natin at ng ating mga anak, ang pangarap nyo ay pangarap ko. We are presently drawing up a comprehensive, all-inclusive plan for economic transformation. We will build back better by doing things in the light of the experiences that we have had, both good and bad. It doesn't matter. No looking back in anger or nostalgia. In the road ahead, the immediate months will be rough, but I will walk that road with you. The pandemic ravaged bigger economies than ours. The virus is not the only thing to blame. What had been well built was torn down. We will build it back better. The role of agriculture cries for the urgent attention that its neglect and misdirection now demands. Food self-sufficiency has been the key promise of every administration. None but one delivered. There were inherent defects in the old ways and in recent ways too. The trade policy of competitive advantage made the case that when it comes to food sufficiency, a country should not produce but import what other countries make more of and sell cheapest. Then came Ukraine. The most vulnerable when it comes to food are the countries furthest away from the conflict, those bearing no blame for provoking it. Yet they face the biggest risk of starvation. If financial aid is poured into them, though it never is, there is nothing to buy. Food is not just a trade commodity. Without it, people weaken and die. Societies come apart. It is more than a livelihood. It is an existential imperative and a moral one. An agriculture damaged and diminished by unfair competition will have a harder time or will have no prospects at all of recovering. Food sufficiency must get the preferential treatment the richest free trade countries always gave their agricultural sectors. Their policy boils down to don't do as we do. Do what we tell you to. I am giving that policy the most serious thought if it doesn't change or make more allowances for emergencies with long-term effects. There is a parallel problem in our energy supply. Sufficient fossil fuel-free technology for whole economies has yet to be invented. And it is not seriously tried by rich countries. Again, consider the response of the richest countries to the war in Ukraine. But surely, a free world awash with oil can assure supplies. Or we will find a way. We are not far from oil and gas reserves that have already been developed. What we teach in our schools, the materials used must be rethought. I am not talking about history. I'm talking about the basics, the sciences, sharpening theoretical aptitude and imparting vocational skills, such as in the German example, alongside the national language with equal emphasis and facility in a global language, which we had and lost. Let us give OFWs all the advantages we can for them to survive and to thrive. Our teachers from elementary up are heroes fighting ignorance with poor paper weapons. We are condemning the future of our race to menial occupations abroad. Then they are exploited by traffickers. Once we had an education system that prepared coming generations for more and better jobs. There is hope for a comeback. Vice President and soon-to-be Secretary of Education, Sara Duterte Carpio, will fit that mission to a T. We won't be caught unprepared, under-equipped, and understaffed to fight the next pandemic. To start with, we never got over the pandemic of poor, if any, free public health. The last major upgrade of a public health system, exemplified by the resources poured into PGH, predates the current shambles by 3 generations. Our nurses are the best in the world. They acquitted themselves with the highest distinction abroad, having suffered even the highest casualties. With the same exemplary dedication, because we workload that we have back here. There will be changes starting tomorrow. I am confident because I have an OPLE in my cabinet. There were shortcomings in the COVID response. We will fix them out in the open. No more secrets in public health. Remember, I speak from experience. I was among the first to get COVID. It was not a walk in the park. My father built more and better roads, produced more rice than all administrations before his. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte built more and better than all the administrations succeeding my father. Much has been built, and so well, that the economic dogma of dispersing industry to develop the least likely places has been upturned. Development was brought to them. Investors are now setting up industries along the promising routes built. And yet, the potential of this country is not exhausted. Following these giant steps, we will continue to build. I will complete on schedule the projects that have been started. I'm not interested in taking credit. I want to build on success that's already happening. We will be presenting the public with a comprehensive infrastructure plan. 6 years could be just about enough time. No part of our country will be neglected. Progress will be made wherever there are Filipinos, so no investment is wasted. The recovery of Philippine tourism, with its emphasis on accessing nature's beauty, I am sure will exceed expectations. And bigger is not always better, but there's something to be said for economies of scale. And yet the country invites investments in fast-rising industries with quick returns and inflicts irreparable damage for future generations. We have yet to see large-scale practical solutions to pollution, though some are beginning to emerge. But there are tried and proven new ways of mitigation. Blades have been turning over the sand dunes of Ilocos Norte, harnessing a power all around, but unseen, long before this day. I built them. The rich world talks a great deal, but does a lot less about it than those with much less, but who suffer more death and destruction from climate change and lack of adaptation. We will look to our partners and friends to help the Philippines, who, despite having a very small carbon footprint, is at the highest risk. First, spare victims, then help them recover, and move on to lessen the harmful impact of climate change. We too have our part to play. We are the third biggest plastics polluter in the world, but we won't shirk from that responsibility. We will clean up. You will not be disappointed, so do not be afraid. With every difficult decision that I must make, I will keep foremost in my heart and in my mind the debt of gratitude I owe you for the honor and responsibility that you have conferred on me. Whatever is in a person to make changes for the better of others, I lay before you now in my commitment. I will try to spare you. You have your other responsibilities to carry. But I will not spare myself from shedding the last bead of sweat or giving the last ounce of courage and sacrifice. And if you ask me why I am so confident of the future, I will answer you simply that I have 110 million reasons to start with. Such is my faith in the Filipino. Believe, have hope. The sun also rises like it did today and as it will tomorrow. And as surely as that, we will achieve the country all Filipinos deserve. God bless the Philippines. God bless our work. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Magandang tanghali po.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
We will now have a photo opportunity with President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. May we invite the first family on stage. First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, Ferdinand Alexander Sandro Marcos, Joseph Simon Marcos, and William Vincent Marcos.
May we now request Vice President Sara Duterte to join the first family. May we now request on stage Chief Justice Alexander G. Gasmundo and Senate President Vicente Soto III to join the first family. may we now request Madam Imelda R. Marcos, Senator Amy Marcos, and Miss Irene Marcos Araneta to join the first family.
Bayan ko'y tanging ikaw, Pilipinas kong mahal. Ang bayan mo'y mabatayan, Pilipinas kong ang bayan ko'y tanging ikaw, Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay man sa iyo'y ibibigay, tungkulin mong gagampanan na lagi kang paglingkuran, ang bayan mo'y babantayan, Pilipinas kong Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay ko sa iyo'y